Welcome, Lex. I would say welcome to
It's
the
an
founder's
honor.
chair, but this is actually your chair. Welcome to Lex's chair.
Welcome to the Dr. Smile
Yes, Dr.
Legend
Smile's chair. Yes.
Founders Chair collab.
Wow, this is cool, crazy. Wow. So,
You know all the
this is the first time I'm doing this, huh?
Yeah.
So I've
It's
never,
the first time anyone's doing this.
Yeah. I
The
don't
first
think
time I've let anyone come here into this space and do
coming
this.
into a space and turning it into a barber.
But you are one of my patients,
Yes.
and so you know the
this is
space,
like,
and so
nah,
I'm
thank
more than
you.
happy for that.
Thank you very much for trusting us with your chair.
Do you know how to use the space?
Yes.
Do you know how to use the controls and
Yes, no, you gave me the brief, so
All right, sure.
I should be fine.
All
I
right.
should be fine. I think and I mean, like, I'm looking forward to this because I mean, your story in terms of Lex,
Yeah.
you understand? There's so many things that just resonates with me. Firstly, one of the coolest dentists that I know.
I think.
You understand? I don't think like I know any other cool dentist that's like that does
Appreciate
it.
it.
And
I appreciate it.
and the brand that you have built around Dr. Smile just speaks volumes.
Thank you.
How did you manage to do all of this? I mean, it's like you know, it's one thing to be a dentist, but it's another thing to be the coolest and.
I'm gonna show this to my kids one day. Say, look, he
Yes.
said. That's what Sheldon said.
It's like it's there.
I think you're the perfect person to understand this. But when you have a vision of something that is lacking and you combine that with hard work and effort and persistence,
Yes.
then you get a result.
Yeah.
Especially because that result that you're seeking is not just for your own benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's what's most important.
Yeah.
Me and you have spoken a few times away from this chair
Yeah.
about doing things for others and doing things for the benefit of others without wanting something in return.
Yeah.
Just because that's what we're here to do, share our talents and share our abilities and resources to uplift others.
Yeah, so I think that's something that you as an individual are so compassionate about, and I see it all over. I mean, like we're speaking about it, it's the upliftment of kids, upliftment of what you do, and you bring the bar is basically to serve others. You understand?
100%.
Which is something that
Like
you
our-
fully believe in.
Our purpose
Yes.
is to serve others using
Yes.
our talents, our abilities,
Yes.
our resources, our craft. I do teeth, you do hair.
Yes.
And outside of that, even though those are both service-orientated career paths,
Yes.
outside of those immediate career paths, what else are our interests and what else can we do to expand to again bring other people to their potential?
Yeah.
And this is something that my mind is always click, 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 click to try to
Yes.
figure out how to do that more and more and more.
Yeah, yeah. So there has to be something greater than just us. You understand? I mean, like, just looking at what you do. I mean, I always marvel at the attention to detail that you do. You understand? Like, I mean, there's no dentist that
My
I know.
OCD was good.
The OCD, and especially when it comes to your hands. I mean, it's like you're just looking at, and it's in whatever you do, whether you're doing somebody's teeth, whether you're doing somebody's chains, whether you're doing what's it called, the grills. You understand?
Exactly.
It's like the attention to detail is so insane, and it contributes towards something.
Yeah, there's always been this love for excellence in anything that I do.
Yeah.
And not that I'm saying I am excellent in what I do, but you strive for excellence.
Yes.
Like this whole life is striving to become more and more excellent or more and more better in what you can
do.
Put out and share and deliver.
Yes.
I mean, you asked earlier, how did the Dr. Smile idea even begin? I graduated dentistry in 2010 from Wits University after 5 years of studying. And then you have to do 1 year of community service
Yes.
for the government before you can go into private practice.
Yeah.
And then, so for that 1 year for my ComServe, I was placed in the military. I was the army dentist at the army base in Ladysmith in
Is
KZN.
it?
Yeah,
Ah.
in Mnambiti, which is now my
Yes.
second home. And I had such an amazing year, so much growth and learning and progress.
Yes.
But that was the year that I developed the Dr. Smile idea.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Dr. Smile developed because of a need to serve the communities
Yes.
and educate the multitudes of children and youth that are suffering from oral ill health.
Yes.
And so it essentially started where in my free time, while I was not treating the soldiers and their
Yes.
families, I'd go into schools and communities around Ladysmith,
Yeah.
and I'd go and do oral health education days.
Yes.
I'd go and put music on, I would dance, I'd get the kids up on stage, everyone have a
sort of,
vibe, nice time.
yeah.
And then after that, I would educate, explain how to brush, what to do, what's good to eat, what's not good to eat, how to maintain good health at home, what to do while you're at school. Then I'd give out some prizes, and then that was it. But I knew that I needed a name. The kids couldn't come and say, "Oh, Dr.
Lex.
Rawháni is here," or "Dr. Abedian-Rawháni." That's long, bro.
Yes.
I was like, nah,
Yes. Because that doesn't sound right.
no. So then I came up with the name Dr. Smile.
Yes.
And I just came up with this name, and I have or had quite a marketing background in terms of my brain. Throughout high
Yes.
school, I was part of like marketing companies, and I used to think very much in a marketing, advertising,
Yes.
business type of
Yes.
way. So then basically I came up with that name, and as soon as I came up with it, I applied for the trademark.
Serious.
Yeah.
So it's like a proper.
yeah, like a proper.
Yeah.
That was in like 2011.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dad, because my dad was like, "You must trademark it.
Yeah.
If you really like it." And I was like, "Okay, how do you do that? What do you do?" Then I
Yes.
spoke to these lawyers and this and this and that. And then I applied for the trademark. I applied for the trademark, but not just for the name.
Yeah.
I applied for the trademark for name and products and pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
Like that whole thing.
Yes.
At the time, it cost me a lot of money, but okay, it was worth it now.
Yes.
And
But I mean, that's so interesting because to have that idea from that time.
yeah, from 2011, right?
Yeah.
So
that's
then you apply for the trademark, and only by 2013 I got the registered trademark, so the R,
Yes.
which takes like 2 years.
2 years just to come out. Yeah.
So then I was officially Dr.
So
Smile.
many people start businesses but don't necessarily do the compliance element.
Yes, and that's fine also. That process sometimes is very grueling and very expensive, but I had to use my money and I had to do that. It was just how I was guided to at the time.
Yes.
And so I've just retained those trademarks. And you have to update them. But essentially, that gave me a certain confidence. When I came back to Josie after that year and I started working as a dentist in private,
Yeah.
I stuck with the name, and then I started seeing my friends who were celebs.
Yes.
A few of them, in the industry, because I was in the modeling industry while I was in university. Modeling industry, music industry, celeb industry, all kind of linked together.
Yes.
And then so I was stuck with the name Dr. Smile, and then a few of my friends started coming, Boitsi, Pearl, Map. These are friends of mine who are friends for like 10 years plus.
Yes.
So right at the beginning, they started coming. I would take a photo. We were on BlackBerry at that time.
Yeah.
BlackBerry.
Way back.
BlackBerry and MySpace. There was no Insta yet.
Yeah, this was so Insta, yes.
Anyway, we did all of that. Start taking photos, doing a radio interview, doing a magazine, doing a TV, doing a this, doing a that, and get the ball rolling and build the brand. Build the brand. And I think it's super important, as with your brand, you're actually good. You're not just cutting hair and then giving people pop haircuts and then trying to look good on social media.
Yeah.
You have to actually be good.
actually have to be
Your
good.
product has to speak for itself. Your patience and the word of mouth is stronger than any other social media avenue. We know that.
Yes.
Um,
And that's so important because aligning the two, because most of the time people would put things out on social media but don't necessarily align with the product or the service they're actually selling.
yeah.
But how important is that, especially to build an effective brand, because Dr. Smile is actually an effective brand that people can relate with.
Well, yeah, people recognize Dr. Smile as me.
Yes.
What's happened now is within the last year, and I'm still not 1 year old yet, but you may have seen, but I've released the first of my oral care range.
Yes. And this has been how many years in the making? I mean, like
So I had the idea first to make, I mean, my first brush that I drew, that I conceptualized,
yes.
was about 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago.
So you actually drew it.
I draw all my ideas
yeah,
first. I have some
yes.
ideas that are still never done.
Yes.
But I put everything down and I put a date next to it. All of these things, I want to, like, I consider myself an inventor, designer, vibe. So I write these things down. I'm like, hey, one day I'm coming for that guy. One day I'm coming for that guy.
Yes.
And every few years, you find out, that idea, someone else did it. And you're like, okay, sharp. I need to come up with
But
another
how
idea.
important is that? Because especially just drawing it and writing it down.
You
I mean,
bring
like,
it, you
just
manifest it, you bring it into life.
Yes.
And I've got a few of those ideas. You know, you always put these ideas down. You're like, I'm going to release this. I'm going to become a millionaire. But I can tell you, and I'm sure you testify that bringing out products and sharing them with people is not as simple as you think. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind it.
Yeah.
And so, I'm in the first year of releasing the first product in my oral care range, and that's my electric toothbrush. And it's the first South African designed electric toothbrush.
That's out there, yes.
And like this amazing clipper that you're cutting my hair
There
with.
we go, yes.
Fade is the first South African designed electric clipper.
Yes.
And that's super important because
And it's the first South African brand.
yes, exactly.
Yes, that's
exactly.
That's it, yeah.
You designed it, and it's the first South African brand.
Yes.
And so it applies the same. Just bring my brushes. Bring me that white one there.
this one there.
Yes. Look, just turn yours on.
Yes.
Turn it on.
Wow, you can hear it.
But
It's
different-
like,
They're talking to each other.
yeah, there we go, yes.
And I think this is super important for us as pioneers in these fields to start something, to believe in it, to grow it, to develop it, and then show people that we actually have good products. It's not like we just
It's just
releasing something, but
Yeah.
it's actually good.
It's good
Its
products.
price is very good. Its quality is very good.
Yes.
What it seeks to do is very good. I know that by supporting legends, money from your haircuts goes towards your development of so many generations
Training,
of.
yes.
I see that. I see what you do with your training.
Yeah.
I see what you do with your community work.
Yes.
That comes from people trusting you with their haircuts.
Yeah.
And the same thing applies to me. It's like I've got this beautiful thing in the brand that for every single one of these electric brushes sold, one of my manual brushes gets given away for free to somebody in need. This is important. Like, this has been weaved into the brand. So people can say, okay, they're not only buying something good at a good price and supporting local, but they are assisting and helping others who cannot.
You cannot.
But this takes time.
It takes time. It takes time. And I mean, like, it's so difficult because many people think that you get into business, especially for entrepreneurs out there, you get into business, you got a good product, and your product is just going to take off. And unfortunately, it's not the case, huh?
No, it's not the case.
It's not the case.
And what has to happen is, like, I need to get people to hold, like, have my brush in their hand
Yes.
and have a Philips or an Oral-B who are great brushes,
Yes.
right? And have those and feel them and see the difference and then understand the price and the
Yes.
quality and all of these things together. And the value that the brand gives.
Yes.
And then that's how you make your choice, an informed choice. I don't go out there and say, that brand sucks, buy my brand. That's terrible. We don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We don't
It's
do
not
that.
about that.
Yeah.
It's just about this is good, not about that is bad.
Yes.
And then people need to learn that.
And it's just relaying that education as to why going with certain brands and others. And I think like education is definitely needed in one aspect, but I think the one thing that stands out is the humanitarian aspect that people forget about, you understand? Because most of the stuff we can make for ourselves, but
Yes.
it's true what you say, it's like we're thinking for the next generation, and especially what you do with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've been doing it for how many years now? It's like
12 years now?
12 years.
12 years.
And you go into our communities and you teach the kids about being kind. I mean,
I think in general, we as human beings have all of these core values that come natural to our souls.
Yeah.
Every single one of us has a soul. We've all been created noble. No
Yes.
matter if you're black, white, pink, brown, you're from the
Yes.
Middle East like me,
Yes.
you're from, I don't know, it doesn't actually matter, right?
Yes.
I grew up understanding that every single person is equal. We are one big family,
Yes.
regardless of your color, your culture, your language, or
Yes.
your this or your that. It's beautiful to celebrate our diversity,
Yeah.
but not to make it a cause of separation
Yeah.
or like status,
Yeah.
right? And so we go into these communities, and it's so important for me to help these kids understand, especially from like black and colored communities, that don't listen to anyone telling them they are less than,
Yeah.
that they don't have as much potential, that they don't have as much capacity, that this is their limit.
Yeah.
Because this is what so many of the children and youth in our country have been conditioned to think.
Yes.
And their parents have been conditioned to
Yeah.
think.
So
And now
true.
it's not even their fault.
It's not
the
their
fault
fault.
of the oppressor, essentially.
Yes.
But like there's a role for us to help change that mindset.
And I think it's that stigmatization as to I'm less than.
I'm less than,
because
so I
of-
can't dream, or I can't
Yes.
reach, or I
Yes.
can't push. And so if you start from a very young age helping them understand they have this amazing potential and unlimited potential and they
Yeah.
can do anything, and don't let someone tell them they're less than
Yeah.
because they're a different color or they're a different gender or whatever be the case.
Yeah.
So many of my classes aim to help these kids understand their own inherent potential. They are inherently kind, wise, compassionate, generous.
Yeah.
They have like patience and persistence and the integrity and
Yeah.
intelligence and all of these things that
They all
we
possess.
like. Yeah, it's all already inside each human
Yes.
being. I think often we think like now we have to get these
We
things
have
from
to get
outside.
these things from outside.
They are inside.
It's already inside.
And
Yeah.
you just got to understand it and push it,
And push it. Yes.
and then it will come out, and then be
Yes.
there to like help everyone. But then someone's got to help encourage that individual to
Yeah.
get the stuff out.
So I do believe and that's exactly that. It's like that seed that everyone is planted with. Everyone is planted with a good seed.
exactly.
It's a matter of how do I manifest that seed and not allow the outside world to corrupt the seed that is planted within me. And I feel like most of the time that incorruptible seed sometimes gets hindered by the influence of outside.
You know you can take a beautiful seed for like I don't know, let's call it an oak tree that
Yes.
grows huge and strong and big and
Yes.
and you can put it in beautiful soil, or you can just throw it there on the dust.
Yeah.
That same beautiful seed.
Yeah.
And I think it takes, some people will look and say, ugh, it's on the dust. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I need to go, it's my responsibility because I can see
You can see
that
what's
thing is in the dust.
Yes.
I need to go and nurture an environment.
Yeah.
And it's not take it out the dust,
Yeah.
it's take beautiful soil to that area.
that area.
Because now often we think, okay, cool, I'm gonna go there into this kasi or that kasi, I'm gonna take this person. No, you're not, bro.
No, you're
You're gonna
not.
take them out. There's a whole multi-generations
Yes.
there. You've got to go in there and slowly offer your time and your efforts and your
To
resources
actually bring it.
to help. And I think it's different. You're not going there to say, I'm gonna save this community.
Yeah.
It's not that type of
It's not
mentality.
that type of
It's
mentality.
I'm gonna go and offer myself to that community, and
yes.
help and see
Yes.
how I can help and be there for the needs of that community.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it's always really interesting. You know, people don't get, like, I take my car, I drive into some area, wherever it is.
Yeah.
You know, because at the moment I have classes in Claremont,
Yes.
Nuclear,
I saw, yes.
then
yes.
Zanspray Township, then
Yes.
Soweto.
Yes.
And it's like I'll go in there and I essentially go knock. Hi, my name is Lex. I am this person. Look me up on Instagram. Look me up on internet. Check on
Yeah.
TV so you know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to help with the community. They're like, what do you want? Like, what do you want here?
Yeah, what
For
do
the
you want?
first like 2 years, people were calling me pastor. I'm like, no, bruh. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a guy.
It's just the guy.
I'm just a
that's
guy, and I'm
trying to
here. I'm going to offer free weekly classes for your children, for your youth.
Yes.
This is what they're going to be learning.
Yes.
I'm not coming here to brainwash
teach,
anyone.
yes,
Please come and
yes.
actually help me, join
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and I'm here.
Oh,
And then when you start there, you go and you don't stop until either you die or you move city or you, I don't know, you know? And then that's it. That's how you commit
that's how
to
you-
developing communities.
That's
And these
amazing.
kids are phenomenal how they develop and
Yeah.
how beautiful their souls actually
that's
are.
amazing.
And
That's
then
really
we grow
amazing.
at
Yes.
the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. It definitely speaks volumes. Can I use a blade on the side?
You can
Okay.
use a blade. I just don't like blade here because this
Yeah,
already hairline. I don't have
no,
much to deal with.
that's
So
not, that's not the question. Yeah.
yeah, you
No,
can,
but
of course.
I think that's really amazing what you do, and I think it's I think the world needs more people like you. Yeah, just to put it out there, because we live in a society where we are so self-centered, thinking about ourselves more than others, and it becomes so where people don't actually care about the next person's feelings, and everyone wants to get to the top. Everyone doesn't worry about the society that we live in. And
there's no empathy.
There's no empathy. There's no sympathy. And you're actually taking the time to go out and go make a difference.
It's lucky for me because I had the example from my parents.
Yeah.
And again, if you consider that everyone has been created noble and has a beautiful soul, and they are no actually like no one's inherently bad.
Yes.
Okay, it's just that people haven't had the opportunity to realize they have the potential to do that for others. So if I take a group of kids and they, for I don't know, 5 to 10 years of their formative life, understand how important it is to help one another, how important it is to use their time and their resources just to do good for others without expecting anything in return. And they grow up like that, and they understand, oh, I am kind, I am truthful, I am honest, I am hardworking, I am whatever, respectful. Then they grow up as a different generation of adults.
Yeah.
Cool? And if you take the other half that has not been exposed to that and has then only been exposed to the trauma that so many of our children and youth around the world are exposed to, then you can't blame people.
You can't,
You can't blame them for being self-centered or selfish or just want to get and don't want to share because they've never known anything else.
That's true.
So it's painful to see those people. You don't look at them and be like, you're such a bad person, get out of here. You feel bad that they never had the opportunity to realize that they are beautiful. You know, I'm in the jewelry space. I make a lot of custom jewelry, and you can take a rough gem and you can polish it.
And you can polish it.
And you can also just leave it rough. And I'll give you this Mursa big diamond like this, and I'll leave it rough and I'll leave it on the side of the road, dirty, and you won't even look at it.
And you won't look at it,
And you can take that and polish it, and it will be sold for $50 million.
Wow.
And this concept is to say that there's this beautiful quote in the Baha'i writings that I always remember, and it says that we must regard mankind, as a mine rich in gems of inestimable value. Then it says, education can alone cause it to reveal its treasures and enable mankind to benefit therefrom. So if everyone is a rough, all of us here are roughs, we're all these rough diamonds. As we get educated, and education is not learning geography and maths, and it's not that type of education. It's humanity, soul, spiritual, intellectual, social, material, holistic education. We then get polished throughout that process. When we get polished throughout that process as a human being, we share that beauty with those around us. And that beauty is in the form of our talents, our wisdom, our abilities. And then so if I go through whatever I go through in my education and I turn out being someone who never gives up, and then I have a talent also, and I'm a hard worker, and I combine those things together, then you get Sheldon and Legends Barbershop. You get that. But if you weren't ever put through the difficulty of having to work extra hard and not giving up and being at, let's call it a rock bottom, to be able to realize, no, but I can do this, and I need to push, and I need to this, and I need to that, then you come to this situation. And then if we're not pushed, if we're not tested, if we're not put in environments that help us grow.
Actually help us grow,
And it's the hard things that make us grow. We already know that, right?
Make us grow,
It's this sharp blade that makes my haircut look nice. not the
clip
blunt,
itself. The blunt one,
Okay.
And it's so true what you say, because those moments are the moments that actually makes us thrive during undifficult times. You
100%.
understand? So
it sharpens you.
It sharpens you, and it takes you through a moment like, for example, like we just come through COVID, and we come through that whole experience, and us thinking about whether we will survive or thrive, or we're just going to come back and just be a normal company. And I think each and every defining moment actually gives you that thing in life. What has that been for you, especially like those difficult moments that you have to face?
So I gave a talk once to some university students
Yes.
about this topic, and I titled it "From Stumbling Blocks to Stepping Stones." And we often see these things as stumbling blocks, but we
Yes.
don't have a vision of the full picture, and we don't realize, because if you do have that faith in God, that if you do your best, He's gonna confirm what you're doing and help what you're doing.
Yes.
Like if you don't have that faith, life must be super difficult.
Yeah.
Super difficult.
Yes.
So fortunately, I have that faith in that direction to say, cool, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna cheat anyone, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna trust that what happens is what is best for me.
Yes.
And if you don't do that, it must be super difficult.
Yeah.
So this is another thing that I try to help the youth and the children understand. We have a soul, and that soul needs to develop spiritual characteristics throughout this life.
Yeah.
And it's going to develop that through difficult times. If you are not tested with a lie, how can you become truthful? If you're not tested with wanting to keep things for yourself, how can you develop generosity?
Yeah.
If you're not tested in a situation that makes you want to, let's say, be dishonest, how can you develop the honesty?
That's
So
so
God
cool.
has to send you that opposite of what you want to develop for you to
Yes.
develop it.
That's so powerful. Huh?
It is, or then you're not going to
That's
develop
so
it.
powerful.
So-
That's so powerful.
So I try to teach them this from now, just that
Yes.
they're conscious about that concept.
Yes.
So when they get tested, that they ask themselves, what am I supposed to develop from this test?
this
Not
test.
why God hates me, or I hate the
Yes.
world, or then you turn to drugs, you turn to alcohol,
Yes.
you turn to suicide. This is
Yes.
what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because you don't have the tools to make sense of tests and difficulties.
Yeah.
And then I try to encourage them to form a relationship with their creator.
Yeah.
Whether you say God, whether you say Nkulunkulu, you say Tiko, you say Allah, you say the universe, you say an energy, you say whatever people want to say. Like for me as Lex, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
For me, I believe there's only one creator.
Yeah.
So the name doesn't actually matter.
Yes.
But you form some relationship with that creator.
Yeah.
And form that relationship and just do your best. And then it will make sense as you go along, as you go along, as you
And
go
that's so
along.
important because I think many of us go through life without realizing our creator and without having that personal relationship because it comes down to that relationship that you need to have with your creator, whether it is who, but have that and have a consistent way of doing things. Because especially like we have that personal touch with our creator in terms
Right.
of being able to go through and not being religious about it, but
Yes.
spiritually there has to be
Correct,
some
correct.
sort of connection.
And I try not to like push any religion because that's up to the kids and their families and this and that. But there's commonalities between all these faiths and religions. We understand what it means to be good
Yeah,
and try and connect to a source.
yeah,
I mean, it's interesting. I can take this and use it as an analogy.
yeah,
This brush can work well up to a point if it's just like this. But if I turn it on, then
Then it
it
starts
really is special and unique.
Yeah.
If I don't charge this thing,
yes.
I can keep pushing that button, nothing's going to happen.
Nothing will happen.
Same as
yes.
your thing. You don't plug
Yes.
this thing in, you can hold it's going to look nice,
Yes.
but it's not going to be
It's
useful.
not going to be useful, yes.
And that thing of like connecting to our energy source
Yes.
is vital for us to be our best version of ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's my job.
I was like,
You see,
what's
speaking,
happening?
speaking about connecting to the source. Ah, it's
No,
perfect.
it's coming out now. It's
Perfect
coming out.
timing,
It's coming
perfect
out.
timing.
It's coming out.
So, I mean, that's a really nice way to look at it,
put it-
about for us to be our best selves.
Of themselves, yeah. Yeah, I think that's so powerful. That's really powerful.
I don't know, your founder's chair conversations get so deep. It's so nice.
But if you think about it, it's that's exactly why we're here on this earth. I mean, like besides all the money we make, besides all of these things that we attach our lives to, it all comes down to who is your source, who is the person who's your creator, who's your maker, who's the person that you can count on, you understand, in times of trouble. Because
If it's just you,
if it's just you, yeah,
and that source, are you okay?
yeah,
And I think you need to get to that point where just you and that source, you're okay, and then you can take on the world, you know?
yeah, 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 yeah. But it's so vital, huh? It's so vital. Now I'm thinking it's so vital in any relationship, just to ensure that that source is always nurtured
Yeah.
and always protected. So one thing I wanted to ask you, and you can tell me or not, but I know that you make grills.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
What?
girls are in the car. I should have got them for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's the most expensive grills that you ever made?
The most expensive set of grills that I made was 350,000.
What? 350,000.
350,000. It was top and bottom, 10 and
Yes.
10, so 20 teeth, made of 18 karat white gold, covered in white and blue diamonds. It's all real diamonds
Yes.
and real
yes.
gold.
Real gold, yeah.
Beautiful fit, perfectly done.
Yeah.
That was the most expensive set I did.
What?
And it's very expensive to make, but it's also very expensive to buy.
To buy it, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
look at it and I'm like, you see what's happening like overseas. And these girls, my girls are really good. You know, I've got a
Yeah,
master's
I
in
know.
prosthodontics and dentistry.
Yeah.
I'm good at it. I can make these
Yes,
things fit
yes,
nice. And now I'm a
yes.
jeweler and then I combine
Yes.
these two.
Yes.
And then I see people doing grills overseas. You go, someone goes there to Johnny Dang.
To Johnny Dang, yeah, I
And
know
then
Johnny Dang.
they're like,
is
yeah, I just dropped 250K on a grill. Sharp? That 250K, what's that? 4 million.
That's
What is
just-
that? What is
You know, that's not even for the full grill. That's like just for the top piece.
250,000
Yeah, times
times
18.
18?
Yeah.
4.5 million.
4.5 million, yes.
And then
yes.
people are coming to me and say, I saw that grill from Johnny Dang. Can't you make it? I have
Yes.
100,000. I say, go away. That's not even going to help me buy the materials and the cost, not even close to it.
What?
But for us, it's really good.
Yeah.
I know that I can sell these things more,
Yeah.
but I don't need to or want to at the moment.
Yeah.
More important for me is to just create these things
Yes.
and build a brand and build a market. I've obviously been able, I started grills in South Africa like 12 years ago. And then at that time, it was
Yeah.
just me.
It was just you, yeah. Yeah.
And
Because I
now-
can remember there was a time where
It was at the time I was doing Ricky's grills and
yes.
these grills, and there was
Yeah.
nobody.
I actually met you the time. No, the time when you visited Casper. Remember you visited Casper and you delivered his grills.
Yes.
That's the first time I met you, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
long
yeah,
ago.
yeah. So during that time I was busy cutting Casper's hair. And you came to come
You
deliver
delivered
his
the
grill.
junior.
Yeah.
So, and now over the last few years, probably about 5 years now, 5-6 years, there's new players in the game, which is really good because it encourages you to keep pushing your standards.
Yes.
These are people who are doing grills now. Sorry, some of them tell me they're like, yeah, I was in university studying while I saw you making grills for Nasty or for
Oh,
Casper,
nice.
and it inspired me to figure out how to do grills.
Yes.
And this is how it starts, right? And then you say, okay, yeah, it's really nice to hear. And those people are now making such beautiful pieces.
Yes.
And it in turn pushes me to keep pushing.
Yeah.
How can I become better? How can I do something more unique? How can I do something different? How can I get like more perfect in my detailing, in my setting, in my this, in my that? So it's really nice to see that
that's
develop
amazing.
in South
That's
Africa.
amazing. That's
Because if you look at the States, and they're about like 40 years ahead of us
Yeah.
in terms of what they were doing,
So true.
there must be at least 3,000-4,000 people doing grills.
Yeah. It's a
And
big
even
market.
the best of them, there's still a top 10 in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's not as
there's top 10 who are the best,
yes.
and they're all still in America. All of
Yeah.
these top 10.
yeah.
So it's good. We need more. We need to
need
get to like
more.
50 people doing it
Yes.
to be able to help push the industry. You know, because grills are dope.
Yeah.
I love it.
But you think being one of the first to actually bring it alive, do you think that actually made you more of a reliable source?
Yes, it has. Obviously, because I'm also a dentist, so I'm the only dentist making grills now.
Yeah.
There are other dentists who, if I can say, deliver the grills. So they
Yeah.
get it made and then they just put it in the
They
mouth.
just put it in the mouth. Yeah, yes.
But I'm the only dentist who's actually the dentist and the jeweler making them.
Yeah, because you sit and you.
Correct.
Because
and so,
of your OCD, you sit and go to
That's
each
it,
and
and
every detail
exactly.
of that grill.
But what's important there, and I keep trying to tell the other people making grills, is you have a responsibility. You're not just putting a piece of jewelry in someone's mouth
Yeah.
and not caring about their teeth.
Yes.
Because a lot of my patients, I've seen them get grills in other places for cheaper,
Yeah.
and then they come to me and they need to fix their teeth.
Uh,
Or the hygiene of their teeth is not up to scratch, or something has been damaged, or. Not with everyone,
Yes, yes.
but still it's happening.
It's
And so I
happening,
keep
that's
trying to encourage other people who are getting into this space, some of my students who've started making grills now, or other people who've seen me, you have a responsibility to look after the oral health and well-being of the person you're putting grills into their
Yeah.
mouth of. So if you're not a dentist yourself, send them to a dentist. Say, I'm not
Yes.
going to put grills in your mouth until your teeth are clean and healthy.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to do it for you with pleasure.
Yes.
And if you're a dentist, you don't make the grills until their teeth are healthy.
Yes.
Don't just try to get the money and then leave them and then not prioritize what you're supposed to prioritize.
But that's the thing, especially when you look at what's happened now. People want it quick. People
Yeah.
want it now.
Yeah.
It's a it's a fast thing right now.
I had people come to me like, oh, I'm ready for grills. I come and then they got gum issues and disease here and the whole deal and this. And I'm like, nope. And then I see them like 3 weeks later, they got grills by someone else. And I'm like, okay, sharp,
Yeah.
whatever.
But like especially like with you, because I know that there's certain values that you've put over yourself that you don't compromise on. You understand? Like like just to share. I mean like there's one thing that especially with our first appointment, I
Yeah.
came late. I came late for the appointment and I was like, and Lex was like, no. And you're doing my thing. And you're like, imagine I pull up late for appointment and I was
I sat this guy down, this guy with big muscles. I tell him, I'm like, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
Punctuality is very important.
Yes.
We respect one another's time.
Yes.
And imagine I did this, and imagine I did this, and then you never came late again.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You did all your appointments nice, punctual.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the punctuality thing today, actually. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it for someone else, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how important it is to show the other individual that you respect their time, right? And I've been late for people and I hate it. And I like profusely apologize. I try to message in advance. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And they're like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
And like, because it's important that we understand, like, time we don't get back.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so true.
And we need to show other people that we value theirs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're
yes,
going to
yes.
be late for something, you just message ahead of time. You apologize, and then that's the best you can do. The rest is not your problem.
Yeah.
Whether they want to be angry or forgive you, that's not your issue.
But there's certain values that I know that you also stand for, and time is definitely one of them. You understand? What are the other values that you like? It's non-negotiable.
I really try to uphold a very strong sense of justice.
Yeah.
What is fair. If I see injustice, I need to say something.
Yeah.
Especially in a country like South Africa, I see a lot of injustice.
Yes.
Gender injustice, racial injustice.
Yes.
And I always throw myself in there to go and try to sort out the situation. I can't just leave it and then walk by.
Yeah.
Integrity is very important for me. So if I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Yeah.
To be trustworthy.
Yes. And I
So
think
that people think that, like, know that they can
yes,
trust
they
me.
can trust you. I think that word trustworthy is what I sum up you as a person, because
thanks.
people trust you so much. You understand? And we all know, like, I mean, like, I've also cut so many celebs, and you also do a lot of celebrities. The reason why they come to you is sometimes
for
you
the
are good at
photos.
what you do.
Not
You
for
are
the
good at
photos.
what you do. It's not about the photos, but it's because of the trustworthiness of who you are as an individual, and people
Yeah.
can rely on you.
I think when people know that you respect them and you make effort for them,
Yeah.
and especially in a field like dentistry, I know everyone's deepest, darkest secrets and vulnerabilities, and
Yeah.
I see everything,
Yes.
but that is between me and my patient,
Yeah.
and they trust that, and so you develop that trust and friendship and foundation with them,
Yes.
and that becomes lifelong.
Yeah.
Even if you've only seen them twice or 3 times, you know?
It's still so important.
Yeah.
It's still so important.
Yeah.
It's also important. And I think for me, like one of the people that stood out for me. I mean, like I've cut so many people's hair. You understand? And I think somebody that we have mutual benefit is also Ricky Rick.
Yeah.
Just to think about the type of person that he was, the humility that he possessed around everyone. I mean, like we experienced it firsthand,
Yeah.
and until today, we are so close with Bianca.
Yeah. Auntie B, we love you.
Yes.
I was fortunate to know Ricky from about, well, start seeing him as a patient
Yes.
from about 2012.
What?
So now would have been 12 years.
Yeah.
And Mikey from when Mikey was under 2.
Yes.
So I've been looking after them and their family and their teeth and this and that. And it's crazy to think of Ricky from a friend point, from a patient point, from a musician point.
Yeah.
I'm also in the music space, so now I make music for, let's say, the beauty of music.
Yeah.
At a time I was making it really to try perform and get it on airwaves and this and
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And it was always very humble and encouraging.
Yeah.
And I think that's what so much, you take like a superstar like Ricky, and here's me trying to make my first song and like, how do I do this and what do I do?
Yes.
And very helpful and very encouraging and this and that, as opposed to I ain't got time for that, you know, I don't
Yeah.
have time for that.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And yes, to know that somebody trusts you
Yeah.
is such a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
To ever have to break that trust, oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like.
And I hope I don't ever do that to anyone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think it's true what you say. Because just looking at the relationship of somebody like Ricky and the guys out there, it's all comes down to being able to constantly nurture and mature that relationship over time, because that relationship is what keeps everything going.
Yeah.
Besides anything else, I mean, like that's so critical. That's so critical. Yeah.
We love you, Ricky.
Yeah.
And again, it's interesting to think we still have a whole lifetime ahead of us
Yeah.
to be able to take what we're doing and just let it exponentially grow. I keep looking at you and I'm like, hey, how big is this guy's dream going to extend? Like, what is next? What is next? And it's lovely to see.
Yeah.
It's very exciting to see. Don't worry. It's fine. Leave it.
Okay.
Leave it. It's from Timu. It's okay.
Okay.
It's very exciting to see how much you are growing and developing. It's beautiful to see, actually.
Thank you.
And I keep thinking about it, I'm like, well, it makes sense. There's so many people who need haircuts.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who need good haircuts.
Yeah.
And it's so many people who need work. And then there's so many people who are talented. And then there's so many people. It's great. I just think it's such a great result of your efforts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that you've gone into the product space,
Yeah.
it's only fair to say, you've built this and let's say building this empire.
Yes.
And why not? Why wouldn't you add that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you add all of these things and products? And you guys are doing a beautiful job with William
Yes.
as one of your ambassadors. I love it. What a superstar. That guy's amazing.
No, thanks.
He's the only person who has such a wide gap in their teeth that I never want to touch. I love that. It's beautiful and it must stay there.
It must stay there.
No one must ever try to close that.
Yes.
You must never go for braces. Nothing.
Yeah, I must just leave
great.
it like that. Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, it suits him.
Yeah.
It suits him. But especially with your product, I mean, like, how difficult is retail? Because many people think that retail, you can just jump in and just get your hands dirty.
Yeah, so I think getting into retail is the first hurdle.
Yeah.
And so I keep trying to remind myself, no, you're there, be grateful and patient.
Yes.
Now you're at this next step, be grateful and be patient. Because you get there and you're like, hey, I'm there, I'm in retail,
Yes.
but I want to sell more.
Yeah.
And then I'm selling more, but now I want to add another product.
yes.
I'm going to add another product, but now I want to make more. Like, no, stop. I keep trying to remind myself, like, stop it, stop it. So yes, it's a difficult journey, but it's a beautiful journey because it's something that I've wanted.
Yes.
And I like to design and I like to create things that help people.
Yeah.
And I like to create good products.
Yeah.
And so let the journey begin. I'm a year in December. 8th of December, which was my birthday, or is my birthday.
Yeah.
That's when I started and I put my first product on the shelf. So on my birthday, I will be...
On your birthday, yes, I remember
my
last
birthday,
year.
yes, I will be 1 year old. I'll be 1 year
Yes.
old with these brushes. And so hopefully at the beginning of next year, sometime my manual brushes get released in stores to public.
Yes, yes.
The floss is coming, the toothpaste is coming,
Yes.
but now it's super interesting. And I'm sure you know in terms of products also,
Yes.
the toothpaste is a very sensitive thing in terms of its ingredients, its chemicals, what goes into the mouth, what goes into the system. So many people are becoming very conscious. And so I'm trying to create toothpastes that are not harmful.
Yes.
They don't have these harmful things, but they still work, and then people still like the flavor, and still people like the feeling, and this and that. But you want to add one thing, then you got to take out another thing because people. So I'm in that space, and now it's a lot of like R&D.
But tell me about it. Do you like literally like go through each and every product, and it's not like something that's just there?
Yeah,
so you
I go
literally
through each because I have that moral responsibility to know that I've tried that.
Yeah.
Or then, I mean, I've been going through this process of like research and stuff for like already 2-3 years.
Yes.
So I could have there's hundreds of toothpastes that I can just take and edit a little bit and put my name on it and bring out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, should I do that? I'm trying to research this and I'm trying to manufacture it in South Africa so I can contribute to jobs.
Yes.
But then there's issues with that. And
Yes.
so I'm learning all of these things,
All of
which
these
I know
things.
you know about.
Yeah. And it's so tough, right? It's really so tough. It's really so tough trying to do all of these things, but being able to ensure that we're doing the right thing. You understand? And I think
we're doing the right thing, trying to do the right thing, or doing our best with the options that we have.
There were options that we have.
Because you can always think and say, oh no, let me wait because I'm sure I can come up with something better in 6 months. I'm sure I can come up with something better in 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. And then it's 6 years later and you haven't done anything. And so sometimes you just got to start.
Yeah.
And then let that form a foundation. I was saying to some of my colleagues, in terms of my brushes, we all know about Philips, we all know about Oral-B.
Yeah.
Philips brought out their first electric toothbrush in 1992.
What?
Oral-B brought out their first electric toothbrush in 1989.
Yes.
So those guys got like 30 years up on me.
Yeah.
And I'm being impatient here.
And you just have a year now.
I've got, so far I'm at 10 months.
10 months.
So I'm going to teach myself, just be patient, legs, it's coming, it'll come.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
It can't be a 2-year plan.
Can't be a
1-year plan.
Yeah.
10-year plan.
But
so let's have another haircut in 2034.
Yes. And
that's just fun. My hair will be a little grayer.
It will be a bit,
and then
matured now.
Yeah, a bit more. And then we see where we at.
Yeah. But just thinking about it, just thinking about looking at instant success, because many people think that it goes around the Instagram lifestyle where it's like people tend to go to Forex and do all of these things. People tend to do different weird stuff, just trying to get instant quick success. You understand? I mean, like...
And they don't know. We're in debt at the moment for these things, not in profit. You gotta. It's like that, isn't it?
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that. Not understanding the journey.
Yeah.
Not understanding the journey.
They say, give me toothbrush for free. You have something. I'm like, excuse me. How do you think I rate? I said, do you know what the MOQ is for these things?
Yeah. But what a journey, huh?
Yeah.
What a journey. I think like for me, I'm truly inspired and I'm humbled that you're able to share this platform with me, you understand, because I mean, like, for many, many years, I've looked up to you as the guy that was so attention to detail, always looking at how can you constantly improve yourself? I can remember time like when you still had a ponytail going, you understand, and those were the days.
Sure, I love that hairstyle.
But just looking at how things has evolved over the years, and just to see you as an individual, I mean,
It was very kind of you, bro.
no, thank you very much, my friend. I think the love is genuine, and you inspire a lot of us. I think it's evident. It's really evident
That's
through
very kind
everything
of
that
you.
you
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you very much. In closing, I just like you just to, before you look at a haircut, you want to judge me on a haircut, but it's fine.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
I know. Come on, use your mirror.
Use the mirror.
Yes. Come on,
Oh,
use this
using the
mirror.
fancy one,
Yes,
okay.
the fancy mirror.
Using the
There
cartoon
we
mirror.
go. There we go.
Guys, what you say? And I don't have a lot to work with, guys. So you know when he makes it look good like this, amazing. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. Great.
That's amazing.
I like this contrast. I have a little bit of contrast and fade and width and yeah. Amazing. Thank you, my bro.
Thank you very much.
I
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
you.
Thank you very much, Lex. I love you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
And congratulations. And thank you for this platform.
Yeah.
I've watched your other ones and I think it's great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just say a few words for the guys on the camera. I mean, like, it's like the last words from Lex. And I don't know, should I share this?
Oh, you can share it. I haven't announced it. When are you flighting this?
When we flight in next week. Next week.
Share it.
Okay, come and share it. So this is actually the last week that Lex is going to be in Joburg. He's relocating to Cape Town, the mother city.
I'm locating to the mother city. My wife is placed there for her medical internship. She graduates as a medical doctor end of this year.
Yes.
And we will be moving there for the next few years. So goodbye, Josie. Hello, Kaapstad.
Yes.
And we look forward to everything that new journey will bring.
Yeah. And what a transition. I mean, like, you've been here for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you very much. Last words?
Oh, last words. Okay.
Last words.
One of my favorite quotes says,
Yes.
dedicate the precious days of your lives to the betterment of the world. Exactly what this guy's done. Exactly what we strive to do.
Wow. You couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you, my
Thank
brother.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
No way.
Thank you.